Here's a quick English review of the fifth and final Mishnah of the first Perek of Masechet Berachot. Perek Aleph, Mishnah Hey mi Masechet Berachot. The subject is the saying of Parshat Vayomer, the third paragraph of Shema, in Arvit, in Tfilat Ma'ariv. The Mishnah opens by stating, Mazkirin Yitziat Mitzrayim Balelot. We say Yitziat Mitzrayim at night. Yitziat Mitzrayim is really another way of saying Parshat Vayomer, because Vayomer has the sentence, Ani Hashem Elokechem Asher Hotzeti Etchem Me'eretz Mitzrayim. I'm Hashem who took you out of Egypt. And this is not such an obvious idea, because you might have said that you shouldn't say Vayomer at night in Arvit, because it deals mainly with tzitzit, and tzitzit is a daytime mitzvah. So the Mishnah is saying you say it nonetheless because it is also about Yitziat Mitzrayim, and Yitziat Mitzrayim should be said at night as well. Now the Mishnah lists a machloket, an argument between Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah and the Chachamim on that exact issue. Amar Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, Harei kiven shivim shana. I am sort of about approximately like 70 years old. This kiven is very puzzling. What does it mean, I am like 70 years old? Why doesn't it just say I am 70 years old? Was he or wasn't he? So there is a famous story in the Gemara about this, saying that when Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah was only 18 years old, he was offered the chance to replace Rabban Gamliel as the president of the Sanhedrin, as the Nasi. He asked his wife, and one of the things that she said was, they'll never listen to you because you don't have any white hair. You don't look old enough for the job. And so he said, you're right, but let's sleep on it. And that night a miracle happened, and Hashem gave him some white hair overnight, and suddenly he looked instantly more mature, and he was able to accept the job. And so he says, I am sort of like 70 years old. V'lo zachiti shete'amer yitziat Mitzrayim balelos. I didn't merit, I was never successful in winning the argument that Yitziat Mitzrayim, the Parsha of Vayomer, should be said at night and not just during the day in Kriyat Shema. The Mishnah continues, Ad shedrasha ben Zoma, until Ben Zoma made a drasha, derived it from a pasuk, and he was able to win the argument. Shene Emar, because the pasuk says, Lema'an tizkor et yom tzeitcha me'eret Mitzrayim kol yemei. In order that you should remember the day you came out of Mitzrayim, all the days of your life. Tizkor is being understood also in the sense of tazkir. You should mention, not just remember. And you should remember it all the days of your life. The word kol is the most important, because it says Ben Zoma. If it had just said Yemei Chayecha, I would have understood that you have to say Vayomer during the day, Hayamim. But the extra word kol, which is known as a ribuy, a word that comes to include more, kol Yemei Chayecha teaches us Halelot, that you have to say it at night as well. But the Chachamim, the other rabbis who disagreed with Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah and still disagree with Ben Zoma, what do those Chachamim do with his pasuk? Oh, they have a different thing to learn from Kol Yemei Chayecha. They understand this drasha as Yemei Chayecha teaches me that I have to say Shema, and Vayomer, the Parsha Vayomer, mentioning and thanking God for Yetziat Mitzrayim Ha'olam Hazeh. In this world, nowadays, the extra word kol, the ribuy of kol, teaches me kol yemei chayecha lahavi limot hamashiach, that even in the time when Mashiach comes, and the miracles will be so great that you might have thought that we would forget all about the great miracles of Yitziat Mitzrayim because the new ones are even greater, I nevertheless still have to say Vayomer Yitziat Mitzrayim and thank God for it even in the time of Mashiach. That's the other way of learning that pasuk. Based on what we've learned, we can now understand that there is really a double machloket, two things upon which Ben Zoma and the Chachamim disagree. First of all, they disagree, Ha'im Omrim, do we say the chapter of Vayomer, do we say Vayomer at night? Ben Zoma says, we absolutely do, because that's what's learned from Kol Yemei Chayecha. The Chachamim say we do not. because they use Kol Yemei Chayecha for something else. They use it to say that we will continue to mention Yetziat Mitzrayim in the time of Mashiach. But Ben Zoma says, no, I already used that pasuk to teach me otherwise, that we will not, and therefore I do not have it left to teach me to say in the time of Mashiach.